All right, let's get straight into it. Bhutan isn't just a scenic Himalayan kingdom. It's a vital buffer state caught right in the absolute center of great power competition. Today's strategic explainer is going to completely unpack Bhutan's geopolitics, its core security imperatives, and its sweeping geoeconomic pivot. Here is the strategic blueprint for today's briefing. We'll cover 1. Strategic baseline and core issue. 2. Crisis triggers and root causes. 3. Strategic motivations and security. 4. Economic and institutional integration. 5. India's response and future. And 6. A rapid revision recap. Section 1. Strategic baseline and core issue. To really understand this dynamic, we have to start with the institutional bedrock. Under the original 1949 Indo-Bhutan Friendship Treaty, India essentially guided Bhutan's external relations and had the final say on their arms imports. But the 2007 updated treaty changed the game entirely. It dropped that foreign policy guidance clause, officially granting Bhutan much broader strategic autonomy. It even allows for independent arms imports now, provided, of course, they remain friendly to India's interests. Crucially, though, it strictly retained mutual security guarantees, meaning neither government will allow its territory to be used for activities that harm the national security of the other. Section 2. Crisis triggers and root causes. Now, the root cause of the friction we see today stems from an undemarcated border, which has generated a very precise sequence of escalations. Notice how 1994 kicked off annual direct border talks, leading to a bilateral peace agreement in 1998. But the real inflection point? That was the massive 2017 Doklam standoff. Fast forward a bit, and in 2020, China suddenly raised brand new claims over the Soktang sanctuary. This direct pressure led right into the 2021 three-step roadmap, which ultimately brings us to the highly anticipated 25th round of boundary talks in 2025. Why does this border issue matter so much to India? It all comes down to the Siliguri corridor, famously known as the Chicken's Neck. This is a highly sensitive, incredibly narrow stretch of land in West Bengal that literally connects mainland India to its northeastern states. It is structurally dependent on Bhutan remaining a fully secure buffer state. So any territorial concession by Bhutan around the western Doklam tri-junction isn't just a border adjustment. It represents an existential threat to India's physical connectivity. Section 3. Strategic motivations and security. Let's dig into the hidden strategic motivations here, because this is where the geopolitical chess game really happens. China's ultimate objective is to execute what's called a package deal. They are basically offering to concede disputed northern areas to Bhutan, but in exchange, they want control over the western Doklam Plateau. As you can guess, this clashes directly with India's absolute core imperative, which is preventing the People's Liberation Army from moving closer to the Siliguri corridor in large strength. So, to manage all this escalating pressure, Bhutan and China activated the 2021 three-step roadmap. It's a pretty straightforward institutional mechanism. Step 1, agree to the border on the table. Step 2, actually visit the sites on the ground. And Step 3, formally demarcate the boundary. We saw a joint technical team really advance this process during the 2025 talks, though crucially, final demarcation is still pending. Now remember that 2020 claim I mentioned? China, abruptly claiming the previously undisputed Soktang Wildlife Sanctuary in eastern Bhutan, was no accident. It was a calculated, geostrategic maneuver to exert lateral pressure on India's adjacent Arunachal Pradesh. India immediately recognized this threat and responded by proposing a strategic road that reduces the Guwahati-Tawang distance by 150 kilometers. That is a massive logistical upgrade, enabling significantly faster troop deployments for India. Section 4, Economic and Institutional Integration. Keep this massive figure locked in your memory for your exams. 90%. India maintains overwhelming supply chain dominance here, accounting for more than 90% of Bhutan's total exports and imports. And on top of that, India purchases 70% of Bhutan's hydropower. But Bhutan doesn't just blindly chase economic growth. They filter their ambitions through their famous gross national happiness philosophy. As articulated directly by Bhutanese king Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuk, this framework mandates that new infrastructure initiatives, specifically their new Mindfulness City, must encompass conscious and sustainable business practices. And that brings us to a total geoeconomic game changer, the Gelephu Special Administrative Region. We're talking about a 1,000 square kilometer mindfulness city. To put that into perspective, that's 2.5% of Bhutan's entire landmass. It's designed to operate with executive autonomy and legal independence, acting as a crucial economic corridor linking South Asia to Southeast Asia via India. It's strictly focused on renewable energy, digital connectivity, and skill building, complete with very strict screening to ensure businesses actually respect Bhutanese culture. Section 5. India's response and future. So, how exactly is India reinforcing this alliance? Well, during his November 2025 visit, PM Modi committed immense financial and institutional resources. This included inaugurating the massive 1,020-megawatt Punat Sangchu 2 hydroelectric project and fast-tracking the 1,200-megawatt Punat Sangchu 1 project. Add to that a 4,000 crore rupee concessional line of credit for energy and infrastructure, plus a reaffirmed 10,000 crore rupees specifically for Bhutan's 13th five-year plan. India is cementing its role as the indispensable partner here. But it isn't just about energy. It's about physical strategic connectivity. India's fully funding an estimated 4,033 crore rupee rail expansion. We're looking at a 58-kilometer link from Kokrajhar in Assam straight to Gelephu, and an 18-kilometer link from Banarhat in West Bengal to Samtse. Pair that with a brand new immigration checkpost at Harisar in Assam, and what you get is a seamless interlinkage of Indian logistics with Bhutan's economic survival. This leads us right to the core constraint India faces today. How does New Delhi successfully balance respecting Bhutan's sovereign right to conduct border negotiations with China, a right firmly established in that 2007 treaty, while simultaneously securing its own existential strategic vulnerabilities in the Siliguri corridor? That is the ultimate diplomatic tightrope. Section 6. Rapid Revision Recap. Let's lock these concepts in. We're going to map out the exact causal chains we just covered. Recall how the 2007 Friendship Treaty removed India's foreign policy guidance, granting Bhutan strategic autonomy. Then, see how China leverages this via the package deal to directly threaten the Siliguri corridor and uses the 2020 Sakting claim to put lateral pressure on Arunachal Pradesh. Finally, look at the response. The Gelephu SAR and new rail links represent deep joint geoeconomic integration with Assam and Bengal, designed to secure those shared supply chains. That leaves us with one final critical question to consider as you review your notes. As Bhutan continues to navigate this intense great power competition, will its massive geoeconomic pivot through India actually secure its borders? Or will the unresolved pressures of the three-step roadmap eventually force a strategic compromise in the Himalayas? Make sure you monitor these geostrategic interlinkages closely.